The middle class is being liquidated. By 2026, the traditional path, degree, debt, and a 40-year career, has become a financial suicide mission. I learned this the hard way, dropping out at 16 to build trash cans for $2 an hour. I escaped that hamster wheel by realizing the system wasn't designed to make you free, it was designed to keep you compliant. Inflation isn't a statistic, it's a predator eating your life while you sleep. This isn't about skipping lattes, it's about re-engineering your reality. I achieved millionaire status in my 20s using a specific protocol, and today I'm giving you that architectural blueprint to achieve absolute immunity. Before we detach you from the collapsing infrastructure, I need to know, how old are you and what is the number one financial noose tightening around your neck right now? Comment below. The first stage of your liberation is identifying your freedom figure. Most people spend their entire lives running a race without a finish line. They want more money but cannot define what more actually looks like. This ambiguity is a trap. Without a specific terminal value, you are just a hamster running faster as the wheel accelerates. To calculate your exit from the system, we must establish your financial freedom baseline. The elite do not guess, they measure. We are going to look at a high-quality, modern lifestyle standard for 2026. For a primary residence in a global hub like Miami or London, you are looking at approximately $30,000 annually for a premium one-bedroom apartment. This is your base of operations. Next, we factor in the tools of mobility. A Porsche 911, the global benchmark for success, costs roughly $24,125 per year when you factor in financing, insurance, high-performance maintenance, and fuel. We then look at global experiences. In 2026, travel is the primary currency of the visionary. 3 mid-range international expeditions per year will cost you $5,000 solo or $10,000 if you are providing for a partner. Add in the operational costs of life. Utilities, high-speed data, and energy will consume $3,000. Nutrition, balance between high-quality home cooking and elite dining, requires $5,000. In the United States, a mid-level health insurance shield is $2,500. Finally, leisure, the gym memberships and the social capital expenditures adds another $4,000. When we aggregate these numbers, the total annual cost for a life of high dignity is $75,325. In the old world, people worked for this salary. In the new world, we build an engine that produces this amount without our presence. To find your freedom figure, we apply the rule of 25. This is a mathematical law derived from the Trinity study, which suggests that if you have 25 times your annual expenses invested, you have achieved escape velocity. In our case, 75 to 325 multiplied by 25 equals $1,183,125. However, as the editor-in-chief, I must give you the hard truth that 2026 demands. In an era of high volatility, the rule of 25 is the bare minimum. The elite look at a rule of 30 to account for the sequence of returns risk. If the market crashes the year you retire, a 4% withdrawal rate could bleed you dry. But for now, let us focus on that $1.88 million target. This is your golden engine. As long as you only harvest the output, the eggs, and never butcher the engine, the goose, you are mathematically immune to poverty. Before we move to the next stage, I need to know where you stand. Most people are terrified of seeing the total cost of their freedom because it makes their current situation look small. But the 1% thrive on data. Do you believe that $1.88 million is an impossible mountain, or do you see it as a simple engineering problem to be solved? If you have the discipline to hit this number, reply with, "I am the architect." Once you have your target, stage 2 is to hack your life. This is not about deprivation. It is about the surgical elimination of waste. The average person bleeds wealth through 1,000 small cuts. They pay for status they do not have, with money they have not earned, to impress people they do not like. We start with car hacking. The average American is currently suffocating under a $734 monthly car payment. That is nearly $9,000 a year paid to a depreciating asset. There are 100 million people in the United States currently trapped in outstanding car loans, They are not driving cars, they are driving debt. The elite strategy is different. We buy quality assets that have already navigated the steepest part of the depreciation curve. By purchasing a high-end used vehicle and maintaining it, you can often sell it years later for a negligible loss. You are effectively driving for free while the average person pays $9,000 a year for the smell of new leather. Next is the concept of brand hacking. While the masses are obsessed with labels, the builders are obsessed with value. Take a simple commodity like breakfast cereal. A branded box might cost $4.25 for 290 grams. A generic version, often manufactured in the same facility with identical ingredients, costs $1.66 for 500 grams. This is a $2.56 difference. Now, a small mind will say that $2.56 does not matter. An elite mind understands the power of compounding. That small daily delta is $934 a year. Over 5 years, that is nearly $5,000. If you apply this micro-arbitrage across your entire lifestyle, from generic pharmaceuticals to cloud storage subscriptions, you are essentially finding a $10,000 annual raise without working a single extra hour. But the real game is house hacking. Housing is your largest expense. You can either be a victim of the real estate market or a participant in it. Instead of renting a standard apartment, the visionary looks for a duplex or a property with an accessory dwelling unit. By living in one portion and leasing the other, you allow a tenant to pay your mortgage and build your equity. I have seen people take this to the next level through rental arbitrage. There are individuals in high-demand areas like London Bridge who rent premium apartments for $4,000 and list them on short-term rental platforms like Airbnb for 10 days a month to cover the entire rent. They effectively live for free in the most expensive cities on Earth. They are not saving money, they are hacking the system of shelter. Stage 3 is the acquisition and mastery of the credit card. In the world of the average, credit is a trap. In the world of the elite, credit is a weapon. Your credit score is your financial reputation in a digitized world. It tells the banking system whether you are a predator or prey. If you avoid credit because you are afraid of debt, you are making a catastrophic mistake. A high credit score allows you to access capital at the lowest possible rates. When you are ready to purchase a real estate asset at age 28, a 1% difference in your mortgage rate can save you hundreds of thousands of dollars over the life of the loan. The strategy is simple. Use the bank as money for your daily expenses, keep your utilization below 10%, and pay the balance in full every single month. You are building a track record of reliability that will allow you to leverage the system when the right investment opportunity appears. You are not using the card to buy things you cannot afford. You are using it to prove to the world that you are a person of high financial character. Stage 4 is the creation of the additional income stream. Relying on a single job in 2026 is like sitting on a one-legged stool. It is not a matter of if it will collapse, but when. The concept of job security died with the industrial age. The average person will now hold 12 different jobs in their lifetime. To survive, you must become a diversified corporation of one. Every additional income stream you create, whether it is affiliate marketing, high-ticket freelancing, or e-commerce, is an additional leg for your stool. This makes you unshakable. If your primary employer decides to downsize due to AI integration, it does not matter, because your side hustles and investments are already providing a floor for your lifestyle. The most common excuse is a perceived lack of time. Let us dismantle that fallacy right now. A week has 168 hours. Even with a 40-hour work week, 56 hours of sleep, and 20 hours for commuting and meals, you are left with over 50 hours of unstructured time. If you cannot find 10 hours a week within that 50 to build your future, you do not have a time problem, you have a value problem. You are choosing entertainment over endowment. The key is to build a side hustle based on skill stacking. Do not learn a random new skill from scratch. Take what you already do in your 9-to-5 and find a way to offer it directly to the market. The closer you are to the value creation, the more you get to keep. We often keep our financial struggles secret, bearing the anxiety under a mask of normalcy. I want to break that cycle here. What is the one recurring bill or financial pressure that keeps you awake at 2 a.m.? Is it the car payment, the rent, the feeling that you are falling behind? Share it below. This community is a safe harbor for those who are ready to face the truth and change it. Finally, stage 5. Use money for its true function. This is the great divide. The poor use money to pay for the past, debt and bills. The middle class use money to pay for the present, lifestyle and status. The elite use money to pay for the future, expansion. Expansion means using your capital as a soldier. Every dollar you invest is a soldier you are sending out to capture more dollars and bring them back to you. Once your side income exceeds your living expenses, you must resist the urge to upgrade your lifestyle. This is the trap of lifestyle inflation. Instead, you funnel that excess capital into the financial flywheel. The first destination for your capital should be an S&P 500 index fund. This allows you to own a piece of the 500 most powerful corporations in the United States. Over the last decade, this has returned between 12 and 14% annually. While the market fluctuates, history shows that no investor has ever lost money in the S&P 500 over a 20-year horizon. It is the most reliable wealth creation engine in human history. Then we look at high-growth assets like cryptocurrency. In 2026, Bitcoin and Ethereum are no longer speculative toys. They are institutional-grade digital gold. However, the elite treat them with respect. We allocate no more than 5% of our total net worth to this sector. It is a high-risk, high-reward hedge against the traditional financial system. We are prepared for it to go to zero, but we are also prepared for it to go to the moon. The final pillar is real estate. This is the ultimate wealth builder because it allows for leverage and tax efficiency. Through the house hacking method we discussed earlier, or through a portfolio of rental properties, you are using other people as money to build your equity. Rich people do not work for money. They work to acquire assets that work for money. This is the shift from linear income, where you trade an hour for a dollar, to exponential income, where your wealth grows while you sleep, travel, or spend time with your family. Financial freedom in 2026 is not about having $1 million in the bank. It is about having the autonomy to say no, no to a toxic boss, no to a location you hate, no to a lifestyle that drains your soul. It is about reclaiming your most precious non-renewable resource, time. The numbers we discussed today, the $75,000 lifestyle and the $1.88 million engine, are just the metrics. The real goal is sovereignty. For those of you who have stayed until the very end, here is the hard truth that most financial gurus will not tell you. There is a massive difference between gross freedom and net freedom. Most people calculate their freedom figure based on their gross income, but they forget the biggest expense of their life: taxes. If you need $75,000 to live, and you are in a 30% tax bracket, you actually need your investments to generate over $100,000. This is why tax hacking is mandatory. In the United Kingdom, utilize the ISA. In the United States, maximize the Roth IRA. These are legal fortresses that allow your wealth to grow and be harvested without the government taking a cut. If you do not have a tax strategy, you do not have a wealth strategy. You are just a high-value target for the IRS or the HMRC. If you have absorbed this entire blueprint and are ready to execute, comment the phrase, "I am awake" below. This tells me you are part of the 1% who finishes what they start. If this masterclass brought you value, like this video and subscribe. We do not just discuss money here, we discuss the mastery of life. Share this with one person who is currently trapped on the hamster wheel and needs to see the exit sign. The blueprint is in your hands. The numbers are on the screen. The only variable left is your discipline. I will see you in the next briefing. Click the video on your screen now to take the next step in your evolution.